Hey there, this is LaShonda Tyree, aka Handmade Soap Coach, and today I want to give you a product review of the NuWave Induction Cooktop. I want to share with you my pros and cons of using this particular cooktop versus other electronic cooking equipment. So let's get started. So here you have the NuWave Induction Cooktop. And before purchasing the NuWave Induction Cooktop, I used to use this portable cooktop, which is your traditional electric burner that you can purchase in any Walmart, Target, any stores like that will carry them. Even the supermarket, I've seen them in certain supermarkets. So one of my concerns with the electric burner was that it could potentially catch on fire if something, maybe some paper or something got on the hot coils, or it might have, even though I may have thought I turned it off, but didn't turn it off. And unless, the only way I think to make sure that your electric burner is off is to totally unplug it. So I kind of always felt, did I turn it off? Sometimes I would go back to my studio and check. So my pros and cons with the NuWave induction burner, I have more pros than I do have cons, and the cons are really more on other parts of it, not so much the equipment itself, but some maybe other logistical things. So I'm going to list all my pros and cons in the description area below, as well as some links as to where you can purchase a NuWave induction burner. But let's start with my pros. My pros are the auto shut-off feature. So you can program and set this, it has a timer, so you can program and set the timer. If you don't program it and you turn it on, it will automatically shut off within an hour. Great shut off feature, great, safety feature there. So I love that. You just have to watch the temperatures when you start it up again. I had a class, they were watching it. It stopped, they turned it back on, and the temperatures were really high. I think it was back on medium high, which is like 375. And they didn't think about it, or they didn't really pay attention, and it overboiled what we were making in class that day. So you just want to make sure that though you may restart it, after it shuts off, just make sure you check the temperature. I love the heat resistant surface. So I have turned this on, have used it, and have actually put my hands on here. It does still give you a warning that it may remain hot after cooking. So just, be careful. That warning is there. I've even taken the pot off and felt the area underneath the pot. It is warm because the pot itself will get hot, but the device itself really doesn't. So there might be some temperature release there remaining. But it really hasn't been anything that I've been like, ouch on. So the heat resistant surface. So if you have little people who love to touch things, this might be a great option versus our lovely gas burner, which we know if touched, even after being used, is still hot until it cools down. It heats up quickly. It has several heating temperatures from low, medium, then medium high, and then high, and then even searing. Okay, I don't think I've used it past medium high, and that's when I want to get maybe some water boiling really quick, or get it heated up really fast, or some stearic acid melted really quickly for soap making. But it has these awesome features in terms of temperature, so it really can heat up quickly. So if you're in a pinch and you need to move a little quicker, you can have those temperature options, but then you can also reduce the temperature by tens. As you can see, the first one went down by 5, but then after that it was by 10. So it has those options as well for you to be able to adjust the temperature, which allows you to have better control of the unit, unlike our dear electric burner here, which only has these lovely high, medium, low, and off settings, right? So what does low mean? Like, what is that temperature? We have no idea. And then it also shifts. And if you have one of these things, the light goes on, it goes off, because it's trying to regulate the temperature. But what does low mean? Okay. And then if you have a crock pot, Also, what those heating temperature controls are warm, low, and high. So what does those temperatures translate? So if you're really trying to control your temperatures while you're making soap making or while you're making your natural cosmetics, you might want to consider, it's not going to be exact, but it'll be more in that range. And as you learn your induction cooktop and how it works, you'll be able to figure it out, every time that, what it needs to be set to. Another option is, if you teach classes like me, it is transportable. It even comes, and I have two. It even comes with a lovely, you could purchase these, I believe, at the end of checkout. But I did get the carrying case for just one of my units to take to classes. I do travel for classes sometimes, so I might need to have that with me. It's easy to clean. I just put some nice gentle cleanser on here. I usually use the Trader Joe's cleanser, and cleans very nice, as you can see. And pretty much I've been able to use the pots that I have. And the main thing to figure how you figure that out is either you can put a magnet on here, and if a magnet, strong magnet holds, then you know that that's gonna work. Or the other thing that I did was put some water in here, just a little bit, and then you start the unit, hear it, and it will start to boil. If it starts to boil, if the water heats up, you know that there's a connection and it's working. Also, if there's not a connection, it will give you a warning here after trying to heat it up, and it'll be like beep, 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 and I think it's like a E2 or E1 or something that pops up there. So it also lets you know that, no, this particular metal is not working with the unit. As you can see, you can pause it and it's flashing here. And then if I want to clear that temperature, I hit it one more time and it clears it off. So what have been my cons about this? My cons are more on pricing and the website. So if you purchase from the NuWave Induction Burner website, you may have, just be careful during checkout. I understand the upselling and everything, but it gives you tons of upselling options as you're going through the checkout process. So you may get tired, because I know I hate all those extra things, because they're trying to upsell you to buy, other pieces of equipment to go with it. When I purchased the two together. Plus it came with a couple of pans, and I believe it also came with a fondue set. So all that came with what I initially ordered. But I made a mistake and going through the checkout, because what they do is they say, oh, you could buy one, get one free. And so, but that's part of the opt-in. You have to opt into that on the checkout process. So I might have checked, because I just got tired of saying, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. Just take me to the end so I can pay. So that, just be careful about that, that you don't opt out of the buy one, get one. And that's what I did. But I will have to say their customer service is great. And that they fixed it right away, and there was no issues in getting my second burner. I just had to pay, I think, for the shipping and whatever the difference was that I didn't pay. So, and then the other thing might be the price. So it is a little costly for the two induction burners, plus the pots, and plus the pans. It came to close to $200 with shipping. So, for me, it's an investment, because this is a part of my business. So I am definitely going to get my money's worth out of it. But it's just something to consider, in terms of purchasing. So that might be a con. It may be a con for you, okay? But there might be other induction burners out there, but I do know that this one is highly successful. I've used it. I've had a couple of my other students who have recommended and using it, and how much they love it. And one in particular purchased it because of her child. And she knew her daughter might be wanting to help her and assist her, and she just didn't want her to be touching anything that she could potentially harm herself. So I hope this video has helped you in terms of deciding whether you might want to make this a new piece of equipment for your soap making and cosmetics business or hobby, whatever it might be. And so if you have any comments, if you use the NuWave Induction Cooktop, please share them below. We would love to hear what your pros and what your cons might be. Please share with the community. And that's what this is all about. Once again, our contact information is in the description area below, as well as a link to purchase if you're interested and you want to know more about it, I have some links below, and as well as what my pros and my cons are. They'll be there for you to review again. Once again, my name is LaShonda Tyree. I thank you for joining me, and until next time, take care.